have you, Jill.
I bet.
We can go ahead and start and go around the room if you want to.
All right, sounds good. All right, so for those that are here and hopefully some latecomers, welcome to virtual networking, where we get to see Aubrey's pretty face.
I do it on purpose.
But we've got some fun new people today too, and a great speaker, so this should be great. So go ahead and chat in with where you're joining us from and who you are, and I'll call on you for your minute introductions.
Shantel, move your microphone. You're very quiet.
Oh, is that better?
Push it in a little bit too.
All right.
There you go.
So we've got Adam with Employer Essentials. Do you have the monkey?
I do. I have the monkey in my office. Let me go grab the monkey. It's all good. So I am Adam with Employer Essentials. We do payroll, staffing, and HR. All those fun things that we refer to as the monkey on your back, which leads me to my friend Harris. Harris is the name we've given to the monkey on your back. This week I want to tell people a little bit as a warning. Don't let the press scare you. There's a lot of labor law changes because the state legislature just completed their session. And so some of the things coming out right now are still preliminary rulings. If somebody tells you something that you got to do this with your business, always ask an expert first before you freak out and try to make some massive change to the way you operate your business. And if that means just giving me a call, I'd love to be that resource.
Good point.
Thank you very much, Adam. All right, and let's see who else chatted in thus far. We've got Hugh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Hugh, and I'm in Sebring, Florida. And I am the sales wizard at Redcap Sales Coaching and Elite Sales Academy, where you can learn to make selling easy, fun, and profitable. And as a matter of fact, you can actually double your sales and income in 90 days or less, and I absolutely positively guarantee that. And AllPro Web Tools is my go-to guys, and they are fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. All right, and we've got Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave from AllPro Web Tools. We are the all-in-one software solution for managing your entire business in just one software application. That includes CRM, e-commerce, email marketing, website, everything all in one place.
Thank you, Dave. And Tim.
Dave forgot to include the wonderful reports that are also integrated. I'm Tim Washburn with Computer Doctors and Integrity Technologies. We are both IT companies. One Computer Doctors specializes in residential repair and retail, and Integrity Technologies focuses more on business with employees, and also our cloud services, where we have a data center and have fully customizable cloud solutions for each of our individual clients.
Thank you. And Miss Jill.
So I'm Jill. I'm late. I'm sorry. I'm normally the first one on. So I am going to be talking today, but I'm in Denver, and my husband and I have a business consulting company, and one of our arms of that business takes care of all things social for people.
Cool. And then Stephanie, we can't see you yet, but can we hear you? Not yet, maybe. All right, we'll see about that. And then Aubrey.
Hello, my name is Aubrey Blankenship. I love AllPro Web Tools, but my business is called INFUSEALLY. It's small business, big marketing for small businesses. I never really say my tagline, but I basically help small businesses get out there in the online world through social media and blogging and strategy and email marketing and all those pieces that tie together, and website editing, just kind of creating a cohesive plan with a marketing eye and putting stuff out there. So that's me.
Awesome.
And Aubrey
you.
is currently managing all of our marketing for AllPro Web Tools, so we thank you for that.
Right?
I love it. You bet.
Yep, it's been very helpful. We're getting blogs out. Cool, thank you for that. So I'm still messaging people. Hopefully we'll get more people in. But meanwhile, so we've got, speaking of. Hi, Dawn.
There's Dawn. So Jill, we're looking forward to your presentation. Aubrey and I have been talking about social media and some of the new ways of marketing. So we're excited.
That's.
Can you hear us yet, Dawn? Guess not.
In his
Not
car.
quite yet.
Oh, he's talking. Still can't hear you, Dawn. You're on, but you're not on mute. All right. Well,
The wonderful thing and the bad thing about technology, right?
Donna is suffering from digital laryngitis today.
We'll see if we can get him to talk here soon. But meanwhile, so got, like I said, the virtual networking. So of course we always tape these and put them on YouTube so that we can enjoy them later, get a chance to refer people over to whatever information was shared, or get a chance to look back if you forgot what somebody does and want to connect with them. We also include the chats in the Facebook page with that. So we put the video out there and we have the chats in there. So feel free to chat your contact information, anything that you'd normally put on a business card, go ahead and put it in there so that way people can have your info and know how to get a hold of you. And then also feel free to pass leads and ask questions and any of that kind of stuff in the chat as well. So make use of that. And we have Miss Stephanie.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I never got the link to the meeting, so thank you for...
We're working on that.
I guess people probably finally managed to beat me to getting the name in the chat, huh?
That's how we did it. We didn't include you in the email, so that way other people can get a chance. Cool. Why don't you tell us about yourself, Stephanie?
Okay, my name is Stephanie O'Brien. I'm a fiction author, comic artist, video editor, marketing coach, and copywriter. I've published 4 books through Amazon's Kindle, and I help business owners to attract more clients by helping them to figure out what marketing materials they need and what to say in those materials, and writing the materials for them. If you want to know more about me, my website is www.coachclientconnection.com.
Thank you, Stephanie. And then Dawn, can we hear you?
I can hear you now.
Okay, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, good afternoon. My name is Don Graham, general contractor in Denver, Colorado. I love hail. We're 5 weeks out from hail season. I'm also CEO of Safe Pro Guard, inventor of the Easy Ladder Guardian. It's a ladder safety device, a ladder brace that supports ladders from ground to roof. And we're out here saving lives and preventing injuries.
Very cool. Thank you. All right. So without further ado, unless I missed anybody as people are popping in and out, let's move on for our feature presentation. Ms. Jill.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Okay, I even cleaned it off because I knew that.
Took off those vacation videos, huh?
I know. So my name is Jill Wisehart, and the reason that Dave asked me to do this is that I just came back from going to Social Media Examiner, and I'm probably one of the oldest people on this call, but also I am somebody who knows a ton about media, and I used to buy $40 million worth of media. So this is kind of my expertise and sweet spot, even though I don't spend a lot of time in it. I love telling people and coaching them about it. So we're going to talk about a variety of different things that are new. So as you can see, there's a lot of things going on and a lot of different distribution channels. So what's hot, what's not, and what's new. So I'm going to start with Facebook. And what's hot with Facebook is video, video, video. If you are not doing video, by 2020, it's anticipated that more than 90% of what's on video is going to be through video content. So if you're not doing it, if I didn't say it loud enough, do video. Facebook Live is been around now for about 1.5 years, 2 years. If you're not taking advantage of Facebook Live, you're going to lose your algorithm placement, because that's part of the advantage of Facebook is if you're using the right things, you'll be able to do things and get more exposure. But more importantly, Facebook Messenger. So Facebook Messenger is where you IM messages to people. You can now advertise there. And that is probably the fastest growing way to get in front of your clients or potential clients. Things not to do. Don't waste your money on boosting. So when you post an ad and it says boost, don't think about it, because you're better off going in and building your own campaign. Boosting, you're basically going to reach people, but not necessarily who you want to reach. And I'm not going to say stop doing text posts, even though that's what people were saying last month. I'm going to tell you reduce your text posts, because text post, as in something that doesn't have video or doesn't have a picture, is not going to get the same exposure as other things on Facebook. And then what's new and things to think about is when you're doing video, moving forward, you need to think about doing a square format video. And the reason for that is a lot of people are viewing their video on their phones, and square videos are seen better on your phone than a elongated television video. So think about that when you're doing things. Filters on Facebook are now available for Facebook Live and videos, and also on your mobile phone. This is basically to try to capture some of the market that was Snapchat, and then advertise in Facebook Messenger. LinkedIn, which to me is probably one of the biggest secrets that people don't spend a lot of time in. And since a lot of us are B2B, it's a really good place to be able to find your customers and capture them. Be sure to have a LinkedIn business page. If you don't, I know from what I learned last month and from other sources that business pages potentially could go away, or they may not be available to set up. So if you do not have a business page on LinkedIn, I highly recommend you do it. Next is video on LinkedIn. Just like you're doing video on Facebook, and you should be doing video every place, do video on LinkedIn. And B2B, you should be using LinkedIn as much as you're using Facebook or other social channels. So that gets us to the what not to do. Don't just set your profile up on LinkedIn and forget about it. Go in there and actively work your LinkedIn account. And I will tell you that I am going in and talking to people, and I'm getting business from going just into LinkedIn and using their messaging service. If you're doing LinkedIn on your phone, be sure to use their Pulse app, which is new. And I'm going to offer you a way to get all these slides. So if you don't have time to write down what that URL is, that's a place where you can put your presentations, but also you want to be able to have the Pulse app available. Twitter. Hashtag, will Twitter survive? There's lots of questions as to whether or not Twitter will be around in the next 5 years. People who are using it successfully continue to use it, but it doesn't seem to be the growing area that people had hoped. Include videos in your Twitter. Instagram, what's hot? Multiple images on a post. So don't just have one picture. And then the other is video. So embed your video into your picture area and include that so that it's an animated Instagram. What not to do on Instagram is single image posts. And then other things to note and to think about is podcasts are becoming more and more important. So like AllPro Web Tools does this event, if they could strip out the pictures of it and make it a podcast for people to listen to. Lots of people are downloading podcasts for when they're commuting, especially it seems to be popular in the 20 and 30-something-year-old group, is to be able to go to a podcast. And be sure to put your content on multiple channels. So if you're doing a video on Facebook Live, put it on YouTube, embed it into an Instagram, but don't just use it in one place. Important, know who your audience is. So when you're out there speaking to people on whatever your channel is, you know who your audience is. Make sure to have a written plan. Tell a story. Don't try to sell somebody. And most importantly, be consistent. Resources, I have on this deck a Facebook Trends article, which is really good. I have a LinkedIn What's Hot, and I have a how to attract Twitter followers if that's a world you play in. So if you want my PowerPoint presentation, go to email jill.wisehart@yellowschmello.com, and I'll put it in the chat box and just say, send me the trends, and I will be happy to send you this little presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
Awesome. Excellent. Brief overview of that event that you went to.
Great.
How much did
Yeah.
you
In 10 minutes or less. That's what Dave said. Tell them everything you learned in 10 minutes or less.
And how long was that event? Like 3 days?
The event is 3 days. It is nonstop. The advantage of going to the event is you then also can get all of the videos of all of the events that you don't have time to go to. So I am still going through and listening to the ones that I didn't have a chance to attend personally myself.
Wow. And how much were the tickets there?
They're going to have 2 tiered tickets next year. So a full ride ticket is $1,800, but that includes some of your meals. And then they're going to have a lower rate ticket that will be available. And then those who are in the internet marketing space, Ryan Dice is doing an event 3 days before called Traffic and Conversion, which is a really, really good event. So if you are going to San Diego for social media marketer, which I am, I highly recommend that you go to Ryan Dice's event. If you're looking to connect with people in the internet world or affiliates, if you're looking for content, Ryan Dice has an event in LA in September.
All right. We're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. I know Stephanie has a question.
Yes, Stephanie.
Hi, I was actually on a call with another business coach earlier today, and he was commenting on the new Facebook feature. You know how if you keep it under a certain word count, the text gets really big?
Yep.
So he was saying that his posts with just that text and no picture were actually performing better than the texts with, or the posts with smaller text and no pictures.
No, I'm saying if he just has text, you're going to perform less.
Okay, he'd just been finding that the ones with the big text and no picture were performing better than small text with a picture. So I was wondering what your thoughts on that are.
I'd have to look at the insights. It may just be who's on your stream of what you're doing, but they're saying more and more if it's just text, it is not going to get the same algorithm weight as if it has a picture, or preferably if it has a video. Video is going to get the first tier priority, then something with a picture or a carousel image before just a single image, and then text will get the lowest weight.
Okay, so did you say, I make sure I caught that right, carousel image as in multiple images? Does that mean?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so multiple images trumps one image?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And video trumps them all.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And square video is going to trump them even more, but not a lot of people are doing that yet, and that's new. And so if you can learn how to do square video, I highly recommend it.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Yeah, Jill, I've got one.
Sure.
Social media sites are constantly improving the way that you can do things and screw everything up for everybody. Is there a place where you can kind of go to find out what changes are happening before you go to a site and find out that it's completely different and have to try to figure it out?
There really isn't one source. I will tell you that there's a free subscription to Social Media Examiner, and I would read that because they're probably the most current on what's going on. I read what they put out, but then they have a live event in the spring, and they have a online event in the fall. I'll tell you, my concern isn't knowing what's going on as much as like LinkedIn, and I don't think that there's anybody on here who would use this as part of their product, but LinkedIn, if you use the messenger service and you email more than 200 people in one day on LinkedIn, they can now have the right to close you down, and they're starting to. And when they shut your account down for LinkedIn, you cannot get it back. So that's something that you're right. There should be a place, and there isn't a consolidator where you can go and say, what's the most recent? You have to read all the changes. And
yeah, and just as an example, on LinkedIn, you used to be able to search by zip codes.
you
And
can't do it anymore.
now I can't do that anymore. That's ridiculous.
Right.
I don't know what in the world they're thinking over there.
They're thinking money. And so they're going to be tools that will be available to purchase long term. But the other thing is, if you're relying on LinkedIn or on Facebook or wherever, download your contact list on a regular basis, because they're a third-party provider and you could not be their friend and go away, and then you end up without all of those contacts.
Yeah.
No.
Any other questions?
I have one. This is
Sure.
Aubrey.
Hi, Aubrey.
So you mentioned that advertising through Facebook Messenger
Yes.
is on the rise. I'm curious to hear more about that, because I would imagine probably several of us on this call have been added to a group, added to a group message on Messenger, and it's something that I am not at all interested in, and it makes me crazy because you've got a million people on there, all these messages, all this kind of stuff. So to me personally, I'm curious about what the thought process is on there, how that process kind of works, and if they've seen it to be beneficial. Because so far, for myself and many other people I've talked to, Messenger is quite the nuisance just when people throw you in there.
I will tell you that when I first heard about it, I was where you were, saying no one is ever going to use this. But then I was reminded that I'm old, and that it's kind of like text messaging when people used to when we first started using text messaging, and how we found that to be annoying. And that was the exact example that someone gave me. So they're saying that it's just going to be a while. My problem is you have Messenger on LinkedIn, you have Messenger on Facebook. If they're all advertising, you have to like weed through all of this, and there's not a consolidator for it. But I will tell you that the people who I know who are using it, and I got to see some live examples of it for businesses while I was in California, the results is unbelievable. Even if it's annoying, people are buying literally off of their messengers.
Could you give an example of it, just a brief example of one of the scenarios they showed?
It was a membership site. So it was somebody who is a large membership site in the internet marketing world, and they showed an email message to their group in a nurture campaign versus a short, quick message in Messenger to their group, and the Messenger outperformed. But the other one, which I thought was really interesting, because I have a client that's in the real estate industry, is that a lot of realtors are doing video pre-walkthroughs for their custom list and lookalike list, to say, hi, I'm Jill. I have this house that's going on the market tomorrow, but since I love you, I want you to walk through the video with me and show it to your friends, and the sales they're getting before it even hits the market is huge. And this is in markets not in Denver, where the market here is so hot it doesn't matter what you do or what you put on the market, it's going to probably sell. But this is in markets where they're in obscure places like the middle of Nebraska, and they're showing things that you just wouldn't think would, and it's cutting down the number of days that they're on sale. So does that help?
So as far as the advertising on Messenger, can they only advertise to people that are, say, liking or following their business page, or just anybody that you're connected
They
to?
can, you
your
can
friend,
build,
personal.
you can build demographics on it just like you can in your AdWord manager.
Okay, so potentially someone could advertise to me through Messenger that I'm not connected to. I could get this little advertisement pop up on my phone without being connected to that company at all.
Yeah. And the guidelines, unlike text messaging where you can pound and say stop, that is not in place yet for Facebook.
Wow.
Welcome to the brave new world, Aubrey.
Yep.
Wow. I'm irritated just thinking about it.
I would be
Web marketing.
by that.
Yeah. So there are less guideline restrictions on Messenger, so they can advertise things that they may not be able to show on Facebook, and there are ways to be able to build lists just like you do anything else. It's it's pretty scary.
So speaking of building lists, I'd like to start a campaign on Facebook, a paid campaign for the advertisements off to the side. What are your recommendations there?
A paid campaign for the ads on the side. Why? What is your thought process, and why would you want to run it?
I want to build a group or a following or whatever it's called of a specific demographic, and these are people I don't know yet. So I want to build that group of a certain demographic of business owners.
Okay. I would tell you that I would probably do sponsored posts rather than the ads on the side, because you're going to get a higher visibility. Or if you're going to do ads on the side, I would do ads on the side in addition to ads on Instagram. But there you go into Facebook. The other thing is I would do a video ad, not just a plain ad. So I'd make sure there was a video embedded.
Okay, so what are the recommendations for video ads? Should it be a cartoon? Should it be me? Should it be a real person? Should it be 30 seconds long? Should it be 2 minutes long?
Okay. If it's not somebody that you know, like or trust, research shows that there's no reason to show who you are, even though that's contra to what you've probably heard in the past. That's the new is if it's somebody who you don't have a built relationship with, showing who you are isn't going to make that big of a difference, and it could be a turnoff because they're like, who is this person? It should be less than a minute. In my book, we try to do things from 30 seconds to a minute, maybe run a little bit longer if at all possible, but less than a minute if possible. And you want it to be a story. So if you tell your story in a cartoon-like way, that's great. If you know, there's a video tool called Animoto, which is probably one of the most popular tools to use to build videos where you can take slides and run an audio underneath it. And I would use something like that because it's fast, it's inexpensive, and you can do square videos on it. And it's what a lot of the big players in the social world use.
So what's a square video? Is that literally a square, not a rectangle? Is that what you're saying?
A square video instead of an HD. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because then you're not cutting off part of your video on your phone. You have to turn your phone, and it's a lot of effort to turn your phone.
Oh yeah, it wears out my hand. My muscles get all sore.
Right. Other questions? Did that answer your question, Dave?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Anybody else have any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
As a guy who, number one, doesn't have a topic as a profession that always lends itself to people wanting to listen to a video on social media about payroll laws. I'm strategic about what I do, and I do a lot of reposting and repurposing of materials. But there are certain platforms I just avoid. I don't feel like anybody on Twitter is going to care in 140 characters about payroll. And I don't feel like an Instagram photography is going to benefit me. if that's the view, is it better just to avoid them, or do you have to, for the algorithms, for all of this, to make sure that you have a more findable brand? Am I going to have to find a way to leverage those?
No.
Thank God.
Yeah. Look at the landscape and decide what you are comfortable doing and where your audience is going to find you. The worst thing is most people, when they start a business, they go in and they open a Facebook page, a Twitter account, an Instagram account, a Snapchat account, a LinkedIn page, and then they post like one thing here, and then 3 weeks later they post another thing there. That's the worst thing they can do. But I will tell you that since you have your monkey, I would give your monkey a name, and I will give you an example. And this was my best example because I have a police department in the Denver area as a client, and we've been looking at market segmentation stuff. And one of the things I learned for police departments, and trust me, if you think what you have is dry and not interesting, no one wants to talk to the police department. And I went to a seminar talk, and they turned a bot into a chat bot, and her name was Judy. And you could call Judy. Judy was Officer Judy, and you could ask Officer Judy any questions, and it spanned across the whole generation. Seniors talked to Judy more than they would talk to somebody at the call center because they knew Judy. And 8-year-olds would call Judy because they knew that Judy would talk to them. And disabled people would talk to Judy because disabled people would ask the same question over and over until they understood the answer. And Judy wouldn't get upset with them. She would just calmly provide the answer. So I would take your monkey and turn your monkey into a talking spokesperson for your business.
We're working on that. His name is Harris.
Okay. And Harris, and I will tell you, build a chat bot. They are the coolest things. But that to me Harris is a good way to differentiate yourself from everybody else. And it will make people laugh, which will make them remember that Harris said, and here's what's going on. And that on Facebook is really good. But Harris could have his own Instagram page and talk about Harris's top tip for the month. And it could be an infographic talking about stats of something that's going on that they need to know in HR.
Nice. Well, thank you, Jill, for taking care of us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'd love to get you two in touch. Yeah.
Call me anytime, because this is my favorite part of the world.
Thanks,
So
Jill.
David asked me to put together something, and I don't have it in front of me, so I'll do it off the top of my head. But if this is something that interests you, I have an offer for this group. 1, anybody can have my slides. Call me anytime. I love this world. 2, if you want me to go in and evaluate your channels and where you are and what you're doing, and then build a 1-month plan for you and a 45-minute consultation, my normal charge for that is $597, and for you guys, I will do it for $297.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jill.
Awesome. Thank you.
So yeah, just something to think about.
We do want to keep the meeting to 45 minutes, so we'll open it up for 2 minutes of announcements. Are there any announcements?
Don got stuck in a storm area and had to leave, so he chatted me and told me to say bye to everybody.
All right.
Anyone else have announcements?
I just wanted to say thanks to Jill, and you're the youngest old person I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know whether you saw the chat or not, but I would love to talk with you about guesting on my podcast. So
I would love to.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. A connection was made.
And I've got one for you too, Adam. I just need to send you off an email. So
Thank you.
I'll do that right after, but in case life goes crazy, don't let me forget.
Okay.
And all right, well, our group announcement is, of course, we'll be back next Thursday. And I believe we're listening to Hugh speak. Is that correct, Hugh?
What are you going to talk about, Hugh?
Oh, I don't know.
The weather in Florida, maybe?
Probably, and selling and, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, he's going to give us the good rundown on, he's a expert sales coach. So he's going to give us some tips and pointers and help us out. And maybe he'll let us see under the red cap. We'll see.
That could happen, but it will cost you.
Oh, good deal.
All right. Well, that was the official part of our 45 minutes of networking. So please be careful on your drive home.
Don't forget the picture.
Oh, yeah, picture.
I already got the picture.
Okay.
It's all handled. But thank you for the reminder.
Okay. You just didn't tell us to say cheese.
No. We can do one now if you
He
want.
likes those candid ones.
Yeah.
All right, everybody say cheese.
3, 2, 1. All right. Got it.
Cool.
Be careful of the storm out there, guys. Those
Yeah.
who are at
Yeah.
home or in Denver.
Yes. So that's the end of our normal meeting, and then we do leave it open for a little while, just like a normal meeting where you can either take off if you got to run, or you can mingle and chat and check out what was said in the chat box, just in case you were distracted and somebody sent you something cool.
We also have a new feature where we can put 2 of you off into your own little private room, and you guys can talk, and nobody else can hear you. So let us know
Oh,
if you want to do that. Yeah.
That's a cool feature.
Do you also use it for timeout?
You stop passing notes, go to the corner.
I'm used to having a timeout box in my world and occupying it regularly, so.
I'm figuring probably Adam and I should go to the penalty box now.
Yeah, we're used to it. We'll just hang our head in the normal shame that we do. Yeah, we know.
Is this your first time meeting Adam and Hugh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys are kindred spirits in the sales world.
We are,
Have fun.
no doubt.
Yeah, I'd love to schedule something with you, Hugh.
Actually, my calendar link is in the chat. It's the one that ends wizard-strategy at the end.
Awesome. I'll take a look at that and let's set something up so we can get to know each other better.
Awesome. I'd love that.
Fantastic.
I had to get going, but I hope you have a great week.
Stephanie, did you want to connect with Jill? Looks like you guys would have a lot to talk about as well.
That might be a good idea.
Sure.
Jill, what's the best